The classic episodes of The Young and the Restless can remind fans that Victor was once a really bad guy who did some really bad things, of course at the same time extremely smoothly. Today, he is mumbling primarily about his children needing to respect him more and giving up extortion efforts, first from Adam, Mark Grossman, then Victoria, Amelia Heinley. Would you like to see it scroll more to type? Views of more than 2,000 spectators. External shaker. Victor can return to his debauched path, as long as he doesn't fight with his children, 57% of the audience advises. He can face Jack. It's nice to see more Jack. He could face Kyle. But they will not see you. Or Victoria, Adam or Nick. You want to see harmony in the family. And external disturbances. Less than half, 25% of you, prefer to see Victor as a man of the family. You like to see him fight with Nikki, play chess with Faith, kick a soccer ball with Connor and Christian for a few minutes before patting them on the head and sending them for help remembering. Victor Newman, Patriarch of Genève. It may not be a must-see TV, but it is definitely much more peaceful. It is suitable for ages. One last place, 18%, wants the old Victor back. You want him to lock his wife's lover in the basement and torture him. Hire Paul to do your dirty job. Invade companies and don't care if your actions nearly kill a man. Kill the man and don't even care about it. And the next time Adam or Victoria gets upset, you want the Victor to crush them both like insects. Nick too, for good measure. The Young and the Restless, will air this week on CBS. Check your local listings for airtime. So much has happened in the past 4 decades that Doug Davidson played the role of the Young and the Restless Paul Williams, whom fans can remember, acted very differently in 1978 than it is today. I was greatly influenced by Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, recalls Emmy Soap's in-depth winner. So, co-creator, deceased person, Bill Bell turned the character into a hero. He shared that the original character change led to 42 years of memorable stories, many of which the actors recalled in an image released. It was time for Y&R creator and former executive producer William Bell to apologize for making Paul helpless. I remember being at a Christmas party at Bell's and Bill Bell's house saying, "I'm sorry." And I said, "Yes, I know, it's a shame that this whole OJ thing really hurts our ratings and they finally cancelled The Price Was Right," the actor recalls when he was hosting the nightly version of the game show. He said, No, I'm talking about making you helpless." Here I think he understood because my night show was cancelled and he sympathized because he made Paul helpless in a car accident. But that's typical of Bill, his mind is rare. When lost from the show. He works with Paul's former lover, Eva Longoria. Davidson recalls, "She had great sense of humor and in the end we always laughed and had fun. A good part of that is before her character goes crazy. This is the soap they do. As soon as something is really good, they drive someone crazy. But Eva is great. I met she and her family and learn a little bit of Spanish along the way." And working with Eric Braeden, when the show lasted for an hour, he was the oldest protagonist and I was the youngest protagonist. And we both had emotional scenes, which I don't remember. Many of the men who were asked to play the role of this obviously changed, but in the early 80s it was completely different. We were together in that environment and talking about our scenes. We tried to make them trustworthy and Derek and I didn't always agree, but we always respected each other. The relationship was really strong. Davidson also remember working in the golden age of the soap opera. "That's wonderful," he excitedly. "When you look back and wonder what will change, that's just my perception at the time, because sometimes you don't realize what you have. A lot of things I've done, but on a daily basis, I probably didn't realize it was great." To learn more about Davidson on his 42-year journey with Y&R and to see a large set of photos of some of his favorite moments in the soap opera CBS, check out the full story about soap's print depth here.
The Young and the Restless began broadcasting special throwback episodes until it was safe for the cast and crew to return to work. As a treat to viewers, CBS aired special theme weeks devoted to iconic characters. This week focused on one of Y&R's most beloved families, the Winters family. A complete list of episodes that aired during this week can be found here. This episode originally aired February 13, 1991. In the episode, Drusilla crossed paths at Jarbot with a newly hired Neil Winters. This was Christoph St. John's very first appearance on The Young and the Restless. As Drusilla was walking down a hallway, she bumped into Neil Winters. Drusilla yelled that Neil should have been watching where he was going. Neil explained that he was in a hurry to join a meeting. Drusilla demanded that Neil help her pick up and resort her bundle of mail. Exasperated by Drusilla's bold manner and commanding bossiness, Neil said, "Who are you?" Drusilla replied, "I'm Drusilla Barber. I work here." Due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, The Young and the Restless began broadcasting special throwback episodes until it was safe for the cast and crew to return to work. As a treat to viewers, CBS aired special theme weeks devoted to iconic characters. This week focused on one of Y&R's most beloved families, the Winters family. A complete list of episodes that aired during this week can be found here. This episode originally aired May 6, 1994. In the episode, Neil's estranged brother Malcolm arrived in Genoa City. This episode marked Shah Mahmoud's Y&R debut. In his office, Neil was on the phone when a man appeared at the door. Neil didn't notice him as he wrapped up the call. Neil looked up, and the men locked eyes. "You're Neil," the man said. "You're Malcolm," Neil sputtered. Malcolm noted that it had been a long time, adding, "Aren't you going to invite your brother in?" Neil gruffly replied that no one was stopping him. Due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, The Young and the Restless began broadcasting special throwback episodes until it was safe for the cast and crew to return to work. As a treat to viewers, CBS aired special theme weeks devoted to iconic characters. This week focused on one of Y&R's most beloved families, the Winters family. A complete list of episodes that aired during this week can be found here. This episode originally aired February 9, 2005. The Winters family came to Devon's rescue when Devon's life was in peril at the zoo. At the zoo, Neil, Drew, Malcolm, Lily, and the zoo guard finally found Devon frozen in fear in the lion's den. Devon had been at the zoo when he'd heard the security guard approaching, and he jumped several fences to stay ahead of the guard. When Devon had thought he'd been safe, he'd stood up and discovered he was in the lion's den, and he'd frozen when he'd found himself face to face with a lion. Malcolm saw that Devon wasn't able to move, and he climbed into the lion's den slowly and stood between Devon and the lion. He ordered Devon to back up slowly and climb out, but Devon remained frozen in fear. Due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, The Young and the Restless began broadcasting special throwback episodes until it was safe for the cast and crew to return to work. As a treat to viewers, CBS aired special theme weeks devoted to iconic characters. This week focused on one of Y&R's most beloved families, the Winters family. A complete list of episodes that aired during this week can be found here. This episode originally aired June 29, 2005. In the episode, Neil searched for Lily and Daniel in California with Phyllis and Nick while Drusilla stood her ground with Malcolm back home. At Crimson Lights, Malcolm tried to find out where Neil had gone and if he was any closer to finding Lily. Drew brushed his questions aside and took Devon to the patio to spend some time with him because she hadn't talked to him lately. However, every time Devon tried to talk to her about a possible summer job or anything else, Drew was too distracted to listen to him, especially when she saw Sharon come in and get into a conversation with Malcolm. She hoped Sharon wasn't telling Malcolm where they thought Lily and Daniel were.
Due to the novel coronavirus pandemic, The Young and the Restless began broadcasting special throwback episodes until it was safe for the cast and crew to return to work. As a treat to viewers, CBS aired special theme weeks devoted to iconic characters. This week focused on one of Y&R's most beloved families, the Winters family. A complete list of episodes that aired during this week can be found here. This episode originally aired December 7, 2006. In the episode, Neil and Drusilla's adoption of Devon became official. The judge asked Devon how his biological parents would feel about Neil and Drusilla adopting him. Devon admitted that his biological mother was back on drugs, but loved him and would want this for him. Devon said that he already felt like Drew and Neil were his parents. When the judge granted them their wish, the Winterses headed to Gina's to celebrate.